What's your rule of thumb when it comes to sex? Story 1. It's not fun unless we're both having fun. Story 2. Always pee afterwards. Story 3. Don't forget where you put down the keys if you're using handcuffs. Story 4. If they don't make you feel special when you're not having sex, the intercourse won't be good either. Edit. Special means something different for everyone, and so does good. Also, I should say that this rule is my experience, and since I'm a woman, it's gonna be different for all you guys out there. Story 5. If you can't talk about intercourse with them, don't have intercourse with them. We all know our bodies and what we want better than anyone else. You will never have bad intercourse again if you have it with someone you can talk about it with before, during, and afterwards. Story 6. Practice good hygiene prior, especially trimming the fingernails. Story 7. Shower before. Story 8. Young dudes, don't use porn as a guide. Most women don't want to be choked or spanked or whatever you see on SpankBang. And if they do, that's a discussion that needs to be had, or after you two are comfortable with each other. Treat people how you want to be treated. If a girl stuck 3 dry fingers up your butt without your consent, you prob wouldn't like it. Story 9. Sorry, but no TV. My ADHD is bad enough. Last thing I want is to go limp manhood noodle inside ya cause someone's making a mean but hamburger in the background. Story 10. If you stick your manhood in crazy, remember not to leave it there. Story 11. If it doesn't fit, don't force it. Story 12. Nobody's ugly after 2 a.m. but remember it's always before 2 a.m. somewhere. Story 13. Every minute invested in mutual foreplay is a minute of better intercourse. Story 14. Wash your manhood first. I'm not kidding. Don't give her a UTI. Wash your dick. Ideally, wash your entire body by taking a shower, but if you're pressed for time, at least wash your dick. Story 15. First oral, second but oriented intercourse, never change the order. Story 16. If she says you don't need a condom, you need to put on 2. Story 17. No objection to thumbs. If it fits, I sits. Story 18. Never moan the wrong name whilst in handcuffs. Story 19. I don't even put my manhood in until my wife comes first. Story 20. Bring a towel. Story 21. 1. Long nails hurt. Trimmed nails hurt. Trimmed and filed nails are not noticed. 2. Sex is cardio. Doing a little bit of running or walking with the intent of cardio a week will noticeably improve your intercourse drive/performance. 3. Hydrate 2 days before and keep hydrating. 4. When making a campfire, gather as much wood as you could possibly need for the night, then double that pile. The same applies to lube. 5. Ask hard questions bluntly. Permission is not assumed. 6. It's not, I'm gonna come. Say, you're gonna make me come. Story 22. A thumb in the bum means everyone has fun. Story 23. I always make sure my thumbnail is nicely trimmed and filed. Story 24. Eat the female member first, then it won't matter as much when I only last 30 decons. Story 25. Don't finish until she does. Story 26. The mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. Story 27. Make her laugh, then be upfront about what you want. When she's happy and relaxed, it'll be easier for the two of you to sync up. Story 28. Absolutely no sunglasses. Story 29. It's okay not to come. I have to remind myself this a lot because society has this weird thing where it's okay for women to have a hard time finishing, but very not okay for men to have a hard time finishing. As a manhood haver with marathon endurance who struggles to climax because of ADHD, I have made several women cry in bed. Story 30. I like my intercourse how I like my coffee, instant, hot and several times a day, smiley face. Story 31. Ensure her satisfaction, preferably several times, before you even think of your own. Story 32. If you can't comfortably talk about it, you shouldn't do it. Story 33. Haven't seen this yet no means no. Even if they're being playfully. If they want you they need to act like it. Unless it's obvious RP. Story 34. Never do it when you've had a lot to drink. Story 35. Keep your thumb where I can see it. Story 36. The only form of consent acceptable is enthusiastic consent. Story 37. You are responsible for your own orgasm. Talk to your partner about what you want and how you like it. Don't give free rein and then wonder why you haven't been satisfied. Story 38. If she's not into it, I'm not into it. Story 39. Never have intercourse with a girl had too much to drink. Story 40. I shouldn't scream my own name. Story 41. Get tested regularly and know your status. Story 42. Make sure the field is clean. Story 43. 2 fingers, curl them towards the front. Story 44. My rule of thumb is: don't ever, for any reason, do anything, to anyone, for any reason, ever, no matter what, no matter where, or who you are with, or where you are going, or where you've been, ever, for any reason whatsoever. Story 45. Thumb in the pussy, finger in the ass, tongue on the clit. Story 46. Well, the thumb can be useful, but it's better using other things. Story 47. Don't waddle up her hoopsa-daisy until you fiddle-faddled with her whatchamacallit. Also, don't keep the deep heat near the lube. Story 48. Girl climax first. Story 49. 2 thumbs is fine, 3 thumbs is too many. Story 50. Don't duck anyone that you would be ashamed to admit. Story 51. Any bodily noises need to be ignored unless the person that makes them says something. Story 52. Make sure she wants it just as bad before you do anything. If she isn't as into it as you are, then it won't be as good for anyone. Story 53. If you take care of your partner, they'll take care of you. Story 54. If you can smell it before you reach the belly button, pull your pants up and cancel the show. Story 55. The Crocs stay on. Story 56. I'll let you know if, when I ever get laid. Story 57. Talk before, during, and after. Story 58. Shower before, pee after. Story 59. Eat her out until she climax before you do anything. Then when you have sex, she'll at least have gotten off once, and if you know what you're doing you can give her multiple orgasms. Story 60. Consent is everything. Story 61. Enthusiasm. Hard to enjoy something when it feels like a burden. Story 62. 25% is an acceptable tip. Story 63. Use your manhood, not your thumb. Story 64. You really are asking sexual advice on the worst place of the internet. Story 65. I've never had intercourse with a thumb. Story 66. Be clean, kind and listen. Story 67. Safe intercourse is great sex. Better wear a latex, 'cause you don't want that late text, that I think I'm late text. Story 68. If it's brown lay down, if it's black fight back, and if it's white say goodnight. Story 69. If he can't make me wet then we aren't fucking. Sad most men don't know you have to turn someone on physically first. Story 70. Stay away from my butt swole. Story 71. You guys use thumbs? Story 72. Don't do it with someone you have to see in your daily life. Not your coworker. Not your neighbor. Not the guy you see on the train every day. Story 73. How about 5? 1. Check consent not just when you start but at each escalation point. Sometimes, you can assume based on body language, but especially with a new partner, something like, I want to do, blank, with slash to you, or, can I do, blank, or, do you want me to, blank. All of these can be hot ways of checking that they want to do what you're doing. 2. Foreplay is always the best part. Like sure climax is great, most of the fun happens in the build-up. This is not a race, just enjoy the ride. 3. Mind before body. You can know exactly what buttons to press, but you'll never get them to climax if you aren't keeping their mind engaged on what's happening. 4. If she's going crazy when you do something, do not stop doing it. If you start to get tired, try to pivot to something similar. 5. Guys, don't be afraid to moan, shit is hot as fuck. Everyone wants to know how much their partner is enjoying the sex. If you're worried your moan sounds weird, there are other options like dirty talk or growling. I know this sounds weird, but I've done it with all my girlfriends, and they love it. Most important part is that it's authentic. No one wants to feel like their partner is faking pleasure. I also highly recommend self-pleasure with your partner. Seeing what they do when they are in full control of what's happening can clue you into stuff they like a lot. Also, talking about the stuff you think about can be great for potential exploration later. Story 74. Only use the thumb when permission is given. That's the only rule we have about thumbs. Story 75. This one goes out to all the people who just break out the slapping, choking, etc. on day one, without warning. Sex with a new partner is kinda like Monopoly. Lots of people have their own house rules, it's a tradition, and we love that, but when a new friend just says, hey, wanna play Monopoly, that means by the standard rules in the box unless agreed to beforehand. Everyone knows that, right? You don't start playing and then just choke the other player when they pass go, because that's your fun variation on the game. If you do, you can expect them to quit, angrily, because WTF dude, not cool. Children know this. It's basic rules unless specified otherwise. Beforehand. Sex, it's kinda like that. To put it another way, unspecified sex means plain vanilla. You gotta ask for any funky flavors and toppings. And be prepared for them, not to stock the controversial ones. Garlic ice cream just might not be on the menu. Story 76. Always remember when she's making noises or shows she's really enjoying what you're doing. Keep doing that at the same speed, do not speed up or go harder. Story 77. Don't be afraid to laugh. Sex is funny sometimes. If something funny happens, laugh. If you can't stop and laugh with the person you're having intercourse with, you probably shouldn't be having intercourse with them. Sex should be intimate, safe, and fun. Enjoy yourself, but make sure they're enjoying themselves also. Story 78. Don't remember who said it, but it was, consent is important, but what you really want is enthusiasm. Story 79. You gotta preheat the oven before you stick in the meat. Story 80. Consent. Story 81. It's like cauliflower. I've tried it in all different ways and I just don't like it. Story 82. I have club thumbs, so they are too short for much. I just use my fingers. Story 83. If you're the only one who has had fun, then you're not done. Story 84. The helmet stays on. Thanks for tuning in to Peak Reddit. We hope you enjoyed hearing the latest and greatest stories from the most interesting corners of Reddit. If you loved what you saw and heard today, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join the Peak Reddit community. You can check out more videos from us, you might like them. And if you have any amazing stories or experiences that you want to share with us, we'd love to hear from you. Drop us a comment or shoot us a message and let us know what you think. We'll see you in the next video.